be sure to comment, subscribe, and click the notifications bell.
1, 2, 3.
Hey, what's up guys? JD Venom here, part of Venom Nation Wrestling, and this is the Getting Over Podcast, episode 10. You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. For today, January, it's not January, it's July. What am I saying? July the 7th, 2017. Why do I think it would be January? I think I'm drunk. I'm drunk, guys. But thank you so much for coming out, guys. Today, we got a lot of great news here for you guys, including plans for WrestleMania 34 and this year's SummerSlam could be changed. Give you some news about that as well. Also, the Broken Hardy situation with Anthem, GFW, whatever the fuck they're called now. I don't even know what the fuck they're called now. I don't know if it's Anthem, GFW, who gives a shit. But we do have an update on the Broken Gimmick. Also some also champion injury update. And also we do got other things as well for, this week in wrestling, of course. Bay and Boy of the Week, SmackDown and Raw viewership for the week as well. So a lot of great news here for you guys today. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a drink, and listen to me talk about professional wrestling with the best news and rumors here on YouTube. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to leave me a thumbs up like that. Subscribe to the channel here. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and like the Facebook page where both links are down below. Tell your friends and family to come and join the JD Venom Nation here on YouTube. So with that being said, this is the Getting Over Podcast. This is episode 10. And we're going to start how we start off with all 10 episodes, majority of all 10 episodes, with our Raw viewership and SmackDown viewership from this week. Starting off with Raw. Raw viewership decreases before Great Balls of Fire. What the fuck, WWE? Well, here we go. This week's edition of Monday Night Raw, which was headlined by Braun Strowman versus Apollo Crews. Yeah, you wonder why the viewership went down, right? You fucking motherfuckers. Drew 2.8 million viewers, which is down again 4% from last week. So last week's Raw, they have it all broken down here. Okay, so last week's Raw, it was at 2.9 million viewers. The one before that, on June 19th, was at 3.1 million viewers. So it's going down steadily, but next week it's going to go up. 4th of July is over. It's going to be after a pay-per-view. Fans are going to tune in and see what happens just because of the fact that now everybody has a WWE Network, which I'm going to have some information as well about the WWE Network and people's fucking information being stolen, but we'll talk about that in a moment. But, so yeah, I see the viewership going up over 3 million viewers, especially if Samoa Joe wins or if there's some big crazy ending at the end of Great Balls of Fire. So I definitely see the viewership going up. Not really too worried about it. It wasn't like it was at 2.5 million viewers on June the 12th. So I mean, it's at 2.8. It's right around where it needs to be. It still needs, I still think that WWE, if Raw does everything right, they have the potential of being at over 3.5 million viewers every single week. That's if they can get their shit together. But right now, no one really cares about the wrestling product or anything with professional wrestling, which is quite sad because, Raw, I don't really want to, I'll give the devil his due. Raw has not been great. It hasn't been like a great show. But there has been improvements. There's been some watchable stuff. And mainly because it's Brock Lesnar and Samoa Joe. Mainly because of Braun Strowman. Those are really the only two things. Everything else on Raw has sucked fucking shit. So, and that's just in my personal opinion. That's been sucking shit. But be that as it may, viewership went down again 4% this week. It's going to go up next week. I can guarantee you that. As far as SmackDown is concerned, SmackDown this week's edition of WWE SmackDown Live, which featured the return of John Cena and was headlined by the Independence Day Battle Royal, drew 2.3 million viewers. This is down again from last week's increase. Well, this was on the fucking 4th of July, so that, that makes a lot of sense why it was down. even with John Cena returning, families are out fucking, doing fireworks and hot dogs and burgers and baseball games and going to the movies and swimming and, playing baseball and football and basketball outside. It's just the day to be outdoors, the day America, it's, we knew the number was going to be down. Even though SmackDown was a fairly enjoyable show. It was fairly enjoyable, from this past Tuesday. But it was at 2.3 million viewers, and it was, obviously down from last week's 2.6 million viewers. It's going to go back up to around 2.5, 2.6 next week. So they did lose about, almost 300,000 viewers. So that's going to go up next week. I mean, SmackDown, at least with John Cena back, there should be a little bit more of a different direction with the show. Great to see Rusev back as well. Rusev, Machka, Masturbation Celebration for the win, of course. But I believe that number's going to go up next week due to not being on a holiday. But that is your Raw and SmackDown viewership for this week. Alright guys, let's get into the top story here for this week. Okay, and this was coming over from like Sportskeeda. I'm actually going to Wrestling News World. That is my, my go-to source for stuff like this. But this is also on Sportskeeda as well, and I believe Dave Meltzer mentioned this on the Wrestling Observer newsletter. If I can find that real quick, I can probably bring that up too as well. But this is creative decisions continue to change for SummerSlam and WrestleMania 34. But this is the article that I'm going to read here momentarily is from Wrestling News World. But let me see if I can find anything on the newsletter here real quick about this so I can read that. Alright, here we go. Newsletter. They're talking about New Japan, Okada and Cody Rhodes. If I find it here later, I will come back to it, but I can't find it right now. Of course I can't find it now when I need it, right? I had it earlier right up. But anyway, but this is coming from Wrestling News World. Creative decisions continue to change for SummerSlam and WrestleMania 34. This is saying, the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view is this weekend, and the indecision from Vince McMahon has not only caused the finish to the Brock Lesnar Samoa Joe match to be changed several times. So Vince McMahon, apparently, according to this report, is thinking about putting the title on Samoa Joe. So that's saying something right there. Right there, that's saying something. He's at least considering putting the title on Samoa Joe. But the lineups for SummerSlam and WrestleMania continue to flip-flop as a result as well. There are a lot of factors at play here, with both Braun Strowman and Samoa Joe gaining over far more than WWE anticipated, along with the fact that the crowds in nearly every city are turning against Roman Reigns, even at house shows. While Braun Strowman was originally supposed to defeat Roman Reigns in the ambulance match at Great Balls of Fire to become the #1 contender to the Universal Championship, McMahon has changed his mind several times as he's now considering Braun Strowman to be Brock Lesnar's opponent instead of Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 34. Strowman was supposed to face Lesnar at SummerSlam, with Reigns versus Lesnar being saved for WrestleMania. Now those matches may be switching places. Okay, we still got more, but I'm gonna stop right here. Okay, back to the comment where it says, along with the fact that the crowds in nearly every city are turning against Roman Reigns, even at house shows. Why do you think, WWE, that we as fans are turning against Roman Reigns? Why? You shoved him down our throats and you put him in the main event spot way too soon. You keep giving him WrestleMania moment after WrestleMania moment after WrestleMania moment when it doesn't mean shit. He defeated The Undertaker. Did that make him more popular? No. That made him more of a heel than ever. Roman Reigns is the biggest heel in WWE. And maybe Braun Strowman is the biggest face in WWE. They're coming to a 1997 realization, possibly, where Steve Austin was being the fucking babyface. He was being cheered as a face, even though he was doing heel tactics. And Bret Hart was steadily being booed in arenas across the fucking United States. You know what I mean? When he was doing, you know, face tactics, but the people wanted to cheer for Stone Cold. I'm saying the same thing, and now I'm not saying that, you know, this is going to be the new Attitude Era, you know, Braun Strowman's going to be the face, and, of WWE, and, you know, and Roman Reigns is going to go down. I'm not saying that at all, but what I am saying is that you're seeing that similarity between the two. Now, Roman Reigns, I'm not one of those guys, oh, he needs to go heel, I'm not one of those guys. You just need to have him to be more human. Just be more human. Be more human, be more, you know, I don't want to say the guy next door or anything of that nature, but have him more likable. Right now, he is not likable whatsoever. The only people that like Roman Reigns are the kids who don't know any better about fucking wrestling. They haven't grown a brain yet. The women, and there are some fans out there who like Roman Reigns. I mean, I don't understand why. He's a good in-ring worker. I'm not gonna say that, you know, he's fucking total shit in the ring. He's good. I mean, he's not Seth Rollins, he's not Finn Balor, he's not, you know, Shinsuke Nakamura, but he's decent. He's good. I like his match. When he's in some high profile matches, he delivers. Not taking anything away from Roman Reigns, but his character, just, he comes out. Now he comes out as a fucking prick, like a prick heel almost, but he's still being portrayed as the face, but he doesn't do any heel tactics, but his mic skills resemble as a heel at times. It's just all different directions with Roman Reigns, and it's like, let's bring it to center with Roman and give him an identity. If you're going to do heel Reigns, do heel Reigns. If you're going to do face Reigns, do face Reigns. Okay, if you're going to do face Reigns, do not make it to where that he's fucking invincible. Okay, I understand that's what that's what WWE's built off of. The Roland Sammartinos, the Bob Backlunds, the Hulk Hogans, you know what I mean? The Stone Cold Steve Austins, the John Cenas, now the Roman Reigns. I understand that's what WWE's built off of, is off, you know, invincible baby faces. But this is 2017. You know, everybody and their mom has a fucking podcast on YouTube. Every fan, not every fan, but I will say a good chunk of the fans are smart. And the fans that are smart in the arenas, they're gonna rub off on the little kiddos. They're gonna rub off on some of the fans who are not as smart. Like, why these guys, you know, booing Roman Reigns? I bet you there's gonna be some fans in the crowd, or they're gonna overhear conversations like, you know what? I didn't think about that, but that does make sense. Why does Roman win every match? You know what I mean? It will finally start to rub off. That's why now you're hearing booing in every city. Why you're hearing booing at these house shows. Even John Cena at house shows wasn't being booed. Because that is your most basic, your most casual fans. In most cases, not saying every house show is casual fans only, but in most cases you get a lot of casual fans, because this is where they go to Ditlick, Utah, or, you know, or to fucking, you know, backwater Mississippi, you know what I mean, or a Country Road, Alabama, you know what I mean. Not to make fun of those areas, because I live in fucking Texas. You can make fun of Texas all day, but I'm just saying though, they go to these small towns, and apparently, even they go to these small towns, there are still some people there who boo Roman Reigns. So that's a problem. That's a fucking problem that they gotta fix immediately. I don't know what they need to do. I don't know if they need to take him off TV for a while. I don't know if they need to, like, I don't want to say repackage him, because he's far too up there to be repackaged. But they need to do something with Roman Reigns to give him that spark, that, you know, something is completely missing with Roman Reigns. You could say it's the mic skills, but prick Reigns on the mic is good. You know, when he's on the mic being a prick, I like that stuff. But they need to just strip him down, not literally, and find an identity with them. That is the issue with Roman Reigns, and that is why he's being booed at these house shows. But let's continue. I know I went on a fucking rant there, but, you know, just wanted to go over that. Okay, so continue on here with our report. With the uncertainty of what McMahon will ultimately decide, the call was made not to shine a light on Reigns' #1 contender status and not to have the #1 challenger position at stake in the Reigns versus Strowman ambulance match, which makes sense. However, Lesnar versus Reigns at SummerSlam is not a lock either, as McMahon has been so impressed with Samoa Joe. He's still considering adding him to the SummerSlam main event at On Point. A triple threat match with Lesnar, Strowman, and Joe was being considered for SummerSlam, which we reported at the time. But if WWE decides to go with the triple threat Universal title match next month, Lesnar versus Joe versus Reigns is far more likely. I said, if you saw the podcast, or not really the podcast, but the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view preview / predictions that I did yesterday, is up on the channel. Go check that out. I presented, why not do a Fatal 4-Way match? Have all 4 of them in there. Because, you know, if you do a Fatal 4-Way, that is going to be a fucking massive match. That is going to be an awesome, awesome match. Can you imagine all 4 of those guys in there just killing each other? The fucking arena will explode. The world probably explode. Everything will self-destruct if you have all 4 of those fucking, fucking massive body mass in the ring, all at once. I present a Fatal 4-Way. Why not do a Fatal 4-Way? Because if you have one off, what is the other one gonna do? Are you gonna do Strowman versus Balor? That's not believable. Are you gonna do Balor versus Reigns? That's not believable. Are you gonna do Rollins versus Strowman? You know what I mean? Are you gonna do Rollins versus Reigns? Like, no one wants to see that again, not now at least. You know what I mean? So what can you do with the other guy? I mean, I'd rather see Balor versus Wyatt, because God knows Wyatt needs, something right now, and this would be a great decision to have the Demon gimmick come at SummerSlam, the Demon versus Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt can bring the Demon out, and if there's build there to get the Demon out, that's great. Seth Rollins, who would be feeling up against? I don't fucking know. Who knows at this point with Seth Rollins? Well, fucking, Elias Sampson? I don't know. SummerSlam's gonna be a 4-hour show. We don't know who the hell he's gonna be feuding with. Seth Rollins, he is lost in the shuffle right now. He's on the cover of fucking WWE 2K18, and I've never seen this guy is more lost in the shuffle right now than the fucking invisible Joker card. Okay, so this guy is lost in the shuffle right now. I mean, he's gonna be back on the world, the Universal title scene, sooner or later. But right now he's lost. Okay, we're gonna see a little bit. Hopefully, we see a little bit more direction with them in the up and coming weeks. But I would rather see a Fatal 4-Way. You guys let me know about that. If they want to do a triple threat, I'm fine with that. But I'd rather see a Fatal 4-Way because I don't know what the other guy's gonna be doing. Logically, we don't know what the other guy's doing. So let me know what you think about that down in the comments about Samoa Joe, Braun Strowman, Brock Lesnar, and Roman Reigns in a Fatal 4-Way match at SummerSlam. On to our next story. We actually got some notes here, and we can just let me know what you think about, and it's also including about the Hardy situation as well. So first things first, Finn Balor versus Elias Sampson could be added to Sunday's Great Balls of Fire if time permits. Once again, Finn is not in the doghouse and will still be pushed, as we said weeks ago. This was a matter of plans being changed with Braun getting injured and then returning. And this was talking about, and this is coming from Tom Fenton from Wrestling News World. All this here, okay? As we noted earlier, this is on the day that it happened, or the day after that it happened. Okada was at Raw last night checking out the show and was backstage. Okada has done this in the past when in the country. Yeah, so he went to NXT shows, took pictures with Finn Balor, with the NXT title. This is nothing new. Okada's not coming to WWE, guys, so let's I don't think he'll ever come to WWE, so let's get that out of our heads. This is a very interesting note, and I keep talking about this, guys. Marty Scurll has yet to sign with New Japan or Ring of Honor. Who's been reporting this? who's been reporting this fucking since episode 4. I've been reporting this shit for over a month and a half about Marty Scurll, and it's getting real. It's getting real, okay? I like Marty Scurll, so I'm gonna be a little bit of a mark for him. But WWE has interest in some top New Japan pro wrestling stars. However, they are following the contract situations closely to ROH contracts also coming into play. Marty Scurll is still at the top of their list and will be a guest on Stone Cold's podcast. I don't know when, but he's going to be a guest on Stone Cold's podcast. However, you can add War Machine and God to the people they are looking into as well. War Machine, I think they're the former. I gave War Machine and God, or they've been feuding for both the IWGP World Tag Team Championship. So God is part of the Bullet Club. That's like Tama Tonga and I forget the other guy's name. And you got War Machine. Looks like the fucking Highlanders on steroids. Okay, not saying that they're on steroids, but I'm just saying that's what they look like. But two damn good tag teams, and I wouldn't mind both those coming to WWE. Also as well, and this is kind of going back to the last story that we went, as reported several times, WWE is still on how Samoa Joe has gone over with this feud with Brock Lesnar. Not so much where it is likely we will see another match, but so much Joe will likely be kept at the top of the card for a while now. With that being said, a feud with Roman Reigns is down the line, possibly as soon as SummerSlam. So we'll have to see. We have to see how Sunday plays out, because Sunday is going to tell us a lot. So, also as well, the main thing from this here is that with the legal battle for the broken gimmick rights coming to an end, with the legal battle for the broken gimmick rights coming to an end, okay, they're almost finished with this. Look for the gimmick to be brought to TV any day now. Logic will suggest sooner rather than later, as nostalgia is wearing off at this point. Broken gimmick, guys, it's coming. It's coming. I will debut it at SummerSlam. I will have the Revival beat down the Hardys. They do vignettes, maybe a week or two of vignettes of the Hardys, teasing it. Just Matt just like talking, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna, we're gonna face up against the Revival at SummerSlam. I will delete, and just like that little tease right there. Oh, that would get us hooked. You know what I mean? And like he'll do another interview, like Matt's like, me and my, he just saying his regular voice, me and my brother Nero, and he's like he's saying his regular voice, and he's all, and Jeff's like, he looks at him, and Matt's like, excuse me, Jeff, I don't know who brother Nero is, like, you know what I mean? Just do something like that. Just get us excited, make that tease, get us to get excited for the gimmick. That's what I would do personally. But hell, this is WWE that we're talking about. They're gonna fuck this up. What they're gonna do is they're gonna give away the whole fucking thing on Monday Night Raw, and they're gonna just give away the whole fucking thing a week early. That's probably what they're gonna do. And as long as we get it though, that's all I really care about. It sounds like we're getting it very, very soon. So let me know what you think about all those news stories down in the comments. Update on Tommaso Ciampa. This is coming from Ryan Satin and Pro Wrestling Sheet. And this is coming from a few days ago. So y'all guys may already know about this, but I just want to cover it in case if you don't know. Pro Wrestling Sheet has learned that Tommaso Ciampa will not be returning from injury. Sources tell us he's expected to be out of action until early 2018. We were told that the current medical estimate given to WWE that he is out and will be sidelined until March 2018. So, with that being said, 2017 is done for Tommaso Ciampa. However, 2018 for Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, that feud, if it's going to be March, oh my fucking God. WrestleMania weekend, NXT TakeOver, they're going to be in New Orleans? Are you fucking serious? That's main event worthy. That is main event worthy on how awesome that match will be. At fucking, that is gonna be I think the first ever WrestleMania worthy match to be at TakeOver. Like, some of these TakeOver matches, they're just like, they're feuds, like, you know what I mean? You just go into them because, like, that's like the next feud. You know what I mean? Like, but this one here, this is gonna be out of fucking control. And I said this once, and I say it again, and there's been other people saying it too. I don't want to take anybody who else has said this. NXT needs a mid-card title. Tommaso Ciampa, actually Johnny Gargano, will definitely benefit off that. Let's say they have a tournament. Let's say the tournament ends, in January. You know what I mean? And that Johnny Gargano is the first ever, NXT television champion, or NXT, let's say Pride champion. Let's say they make some random name for a champion, like a Pride champion, or whatever it will be called. Or generational. Ooh, that'll be good. Nah, generational universal. What do you think about that? NXT generational champion? No. No. Just off the top of my head. I don't know. I like throw things at the wall, see if they stick. But anyway, TV champion, let's just say. And Tommaso Ciampa comes back in March, or he comes back to the tapings, attacks Johnny Gargano. And Johnny Gargano's, he's the first ever champion. And now, not only they're going to feud back because Tommaso turned the heel on Gargano, they will have a title to fight over as well. It will raise the stakes even more high. You know what I mean? It will raise the stakes to a fucking point where it's like, holy shit, match of the night possibly coming up between Gargano and Ciampa. I can't wait to see him come back. I mean, it sucks that he's injured. I'd rather see the feud down, but I'm actually kind of glad that he's out because you're going to get a fucking marquee return and most likely a match at NXT TakeOver New Orleans for WrestleMania weekend between Gargano and Ciampa. The storytelling is going to be great. If they introduce a mid-card title, it's going to make it even more better. But this doesn't even need a mid-card title. This doesn't even need a mid-card title because on how the heel turn happened. But, god damn it, I can't wait to see it. It'll be something very special to see with Ciampa and Gargano at NXT TakeOver New Orleans on WrestleMania weekend. So let me know what you think about that down in the comments. We got one more news story here, guys, from yesterday. And we got our Boy of the Week, Bay of the Week. And time to close out this week's podcast for episode 10 of the annual podcast. So, this news story is coming from WWE directly. And WWE, on the WWE Network, they basically got hacked. Data breach, database breach, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Hacked, let's just say that. And it's saying here, this is a statement by WWE themselves. This was officially put on their website. Although no credit card or password information was included, and therefore not at risk, WWE is investigating a vulnerability of a database housed on Amazon Web Services. So I guess that's like Amazon.com. I guess people are buying the WWE Network off of Amazon or some shit like that. I don't know. But anyway. That's why I'm assuming. I don't know. We'll get more details about that maybe sometime next week. Which has now been secured. So it's been secured now. WWE utilizes a leading cybersecurity firms, Smartinex and Praetorian. I don't know. I haven't heard of these guys. These companies rather, to manage data infrastructure and cybersecurity, and to conduct regular security audits on AWS. We are currently working with Amazon Web Services, AWS, Smartinex, and Praetorian to ensure the ongoing security of our customer information. So there you go about that, guys. So apparently data breach has happened. There is a little bit more information about this as well. And basically it's saying that the The data included home and email addresses, birthdays, as well as customers' children's age, ranges, and genders were supplied, and was sitting unprotected on an Amazon Web Service S3 server. What the fuck? Like, I don't even know what the fuck this shit is. The guy that reported from Forbes magazine, which was Bob Dichenko, believes that the database was misconfigured by either WWE or an IT partner. WWE told Forbes that they were investigating the situation. So, you know what? To me, okay, home addresses and email addresses, that's fucked. You know what I mean? Because email, let's say you have work email, let's say you have private pictures on there, let's say fucking like a celebrity, let's say, I'm just going to throw a celebrity out there, let's say Denzel Washington. I don't think he has a WWE Network subscription, but let's just say Denzel Washington, he has a WWE Network subscription, but someone gets access to his home address, which is probably out there already, it's the fucking internet, and his email address. You know how much in his private email address, you know how much pertinent information on there? Denzel Washington, let's just say he has fucking scandalous photos. I wouldn't know why he'll have on there, but I'm just saying, let's say, for example, scandalous photos, going email back and forth, negotiation deals, how much is being paid, or, just all types of fucking confidential situation, and it's like, that's fucked, your email address. Home address, that's fucked as well, because if somebody doesn't like you, and like they don't like a certain celebrity, they don't like a certain person, like, oh, I know this person, oh, I happen to have his home address, I'm gonna go kill him. Something like that. It's like, that's fucked. Birthdays, okay, whatever. Like, okay, if you know my birthday, whatever, I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Children's age ranges and genders, who gives a shit? Like, I can tell you that I have a son that's fucking, 5 years old. Who gives a shit? I don't. That doesn't hurt me. That doesn't really hurt me if you know my child's fucking gender or age. Some people see it the other way. I understand that, but that doesn't it doesn't give me like, oh my god, he knows that my son's a male, and that he's 3 years old. Oh my god. But let's say he doesn't know my address or my home or my email address or I don't know. Let me know what you think about that down in the comments, but I just want to share that with you guys, and let me know what you think about that. Let me know if you have a WWE Network subscription, how you think you're going to proceed forward with that. Alright guys, well that is it for the news. Let's get into our boy and bae of the week. Let's start with boy of the week. Boy of the week is a man who who actually main evented Monday Night Raw this week. Is a man who fucking fly swatted Apollo Crews out of midair with his feet and defeated Apollo Crews before Roman Reigns ruined the party. Braun Strowman is our boy of the week for just being a fucking beast and going into his ambulance match against Roman Reigns at Great Balls of Fire, which should be a pretty fun match. Bae of the week. You guys are not seeing, you're seeing this out of nowhere with Bae of the week. You guys have no idea who it is. It is a woman who qualified for the Mae Young Invitational Classic. It is a woman who apparently, and I'm not too sure if this is 100% true, but this may be a fact, that she is the cousin of Will Smith. Yes, that Will Smith. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And that's a good segue. Bianca Belair. Apparently, she's the cousin of Will Smith. That's why I'm making her fucking Bae of the week, because she's the cousin of Will Smith. I didn't know about that. So yeah, there was a few people that have been reporting that she is the cousin of Will Smith. But anyway, Bianca Belair is Bae of the week. Last but not least, we do have in here our This Week in Wrestling, guys. And This Week in Wrestling brings us to a moment that I sat there and watched live 19 years ago. And this was on WCW Monday Nitro, presented from the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, Georgia, with over 41,000 attendance. Bill Goldberg becomes the WCW World Heavyweight Champion after defeating Hollywood Hulk Hogan. And not too many people know this, or remember this rather. Goldberg wrestled twice in that night. We're going to go over that here right now. The card for that night on WCW Nitro Booker T defeated Dean Malenko to retain the WCW World Television Championship. Kane and Raven fought to no contest. Scott Putski defeated Riggs. Chris Jericho defeated the Ultimate Dragon via disqualification to retain the WCW World Cruiserweight Championship. Chavo Guerrero Jr. defeated Johnny Swinger. The Public Enemy defeated Alex Wright and Disco Inferno. Forgot they were a fucking tag team, Disco Inferno, Alex Wright. Actually, how can I forget that on the fucking WCW Revenge game when they're dancing like idiots at the beginning of the fucking intro? How can you forget that? Goldberg, in his first match of the night, defeated Scott Hall to retain the WCW United States Heavyweight Championship. Juventud Guerrero defeated Psychosis. The Giant defeated Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Good lord, I don't know why that match was on the card. DDP defeated Jim Neidhart. Lex Luger and Sting defeated Kidman and Sick Boy in just 28 seconds. And Goldberg defeated Hollywood Hogan to win the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. And possibly one of the greatest moments in wrestling. If you were, if you were there at the time, living at the time, watching WCW Raw, WCW Nitro and Monday Night Raw, it's just one of those times where you're like, fuck. Fuck, it was so damn good. Notes about the show: about 30,000 tickets were sold prior to the announcement of the main event. Originally a non-title dark match between Hulk Hogan and Goldberg less than a week before the show, to a non-title dark match was announced as the main event for Nitro. Okay, but two things happened. One, Hogan wanted to claim responsibility for the large attendance as many turn executives were going to be there, and two, WCW panicked. When didn't WCW panic? Since their reigns streak ended on April the 13th, Nitro had been Raw in the reigns once, the April 27th show, while Raw is War won 9 times, including 6 weeks running. A Goldberg-Hogan match would almost guarantee Nitro would beat Raw, even though not saving the match for a pay-per-view, which is what fucking WCW always did. They always get away their matches on TV, and when pay-per-views came around, they weren't that good. For a pay-per-view cost the company millions, Jesus Christ, in potential revenue. Surely the gamble worked. WCW Nitro won 4.4 to 4.0 in the rating system for Raw. The 4.0 was the lowest rated show since the night after WrestleMania 14. Yeah, the lowest rated night, a 4.0 rating. Now we can't even get them at fucking over. We can't even get these guys at over 2.5. Fucking hell, WWE. I know time to change, Venom. Change. Fuck that. Alright, fuck that. But anyway, that's it, guys. That is this week's episode of the Game Over Podcast. Let me know what you think about the podcast down below. Subscribe to the channel for daily wrestling content on the channel. Tomorrow, I do have our top 10 video. I don't know what top 10 I'm doing, but I'll be doing a top 10 this week, coming back with that. And also, Sunday is the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view review. But guys, that's it. Please rate, subscribe, drop a comment. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and like the Facebook page. Both links are down below. And I will see you guys later. Peace out.